Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to admit to something that I am not proud of. But again, when it comes to standing on business, you can damn sure bet your bottom dollar the good doc gonna stand by what he said. The other day, I had a subscriber reach out to me to tell me that he fell in love with a young lady that dances, right? She's a dancer, right? A lady of the night of sorts. And I had to tell this brother that it was okay that he fell in love with a stripper. Now, there were a bunch of different reasons why I said it was okay. And now that I look back on it, I wish I didn't. So I'm praying he watches this video so that he gets an idea of where the good doc's coming from. You see, he will not be the first, ladies and gentlemen. He will not be the last person to fall in love with a lady of the service industry, okay? Now, the service industry is long and it is wide, ladies and gentlemen, and it encompasses a lot of different occupations, okay? Starting from the part of the spectrum in the area that a lot of guys tend to deal with for some god-awful reason, the ladies of the night, the young ladies who are the professionals, right? That is a person of the service industry, but also we have our Starbucks baristas, we have our young ladies that are bartenders and waitresses. They are also part of the service industry. And anybody who knows what it's like to be in the service industry or know what it's like to interact with young ladies of the service industry, there is almost one thing that is a common denominator amongst the greater majority. Not all of them, but the greater majority of young ladies that work in the service industry. And that is they all, the majority of them, have a pleasing personality. You see, when you work in the type of industry where you're servicing the people, you have to be nice to be around. You have to be approachable. You have to be somebody who I can talk to, somebody I can get information from if needed, right? Hotel, restaurant industry. If I have a problem with my room, I need to be able to go down to the concierge and have a conversation without feeling like you being a straight up butthole, right? If there's something wrong with my food, I have to be able to tell whoever it is that brought my food, this ain't right. Or if I'm missing something in my order, I have to be able to say, hey, I'm missing this. And as a result, shouldn't feel like some animosity or anxiety to have to ask you for these things, because your personality is pleasing, it is welcoming, it allows me to feel comfortable in my idea of asking you for something because you're part of that industry, right? This could be even a young lady that works at SM Mall. Shout out to the SM gang. Y'all know who y'all are, right? A young lady that's a sales lady in the SM Mall, right? The service industry. It encompasses a lot of different occupations, right? But overall, pleasing personality, and your job is not necessarily the customer always being right, but at least getting the customer what they need so that they part with what? That bonus. You see, so when my man told me that he fell in love with a lady of the night, I was like, I'm not mad at you for it, and I understand why. Let me break down some information that I think a lot of us can relate to, right? A lot of us aren't treated very well here in the United States, right? A lot of us are treated like shit, right? As a man, for the greater majority of us, we get treated like boo-boo, right? It's not nice to be treated. It's not common for everybody to be treated on, fair level, par level, especially in a place like where the majority of us come from in the West, right? It's just the way that it is, right? I'm not going to go into the details. I don't have to. But at the same time, let's say, for example, you take your talents or you go somewhere overseas and just so happen you feel like the easiest way to get from point A to point B is to interact with a lady of the night. This woman is a professional. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? That means that lady is built for this shit, right? She knows everything she needs to say. She knows everything she needs to do in order to make you feel like a man. That is her job, ladies and gentlemen. And if she does her job correctly, guess what you're going to part with? You feel me? So when he told me this, I had to be okay with it. I would have told him to try to find a young lady somewhere else. Could have been in another part of the service industry. But when he said it, I was like, all right, but I need you to understand, A, you're not the first, and you're not going to be the last. So you can have this type of love, and, it's easy to... I know it's weird for me to say this. That's why it's hard for me to say it. But it's easy to fall in love with a lady in that particular industry because she knows everything that she needs to say about you to make you feel like the man that you truly are. So when he told me that he fell in love with Lil Scripper, I was like, it's okay. Because you're not the first, you won't be the last. And I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of guys out there that are probably saying the same thing that you're saying. They're just not saying it out loud, right? They're not brave enough to say it, in mixed company, aka, divulge said information to somebody that's outside of your immediate circle. And I appreciate you for trusting me with this. But at the same time, it's like, you can't help who you fall for. I just pray that you don't take it to steps beyond, right? I'm just praying that you don't really try to wife anybody up. But it becomes a very messy situation in regards to taking necessary steps in a relationship with somebody like that. Because in your mind, you're thinking, yo, this woman really loves me. She really likes me. But you gotta ask the question, does she really like you or does she like you? One more time for all my gentlemen in the nosebleed. Does she really like you or does she really like you? So when I told you guys in the beginning of this video that I regretted telling him that, I don't necessarily regret telling him that it's okay, but at the same time, you have to go through those motions. And I'm actually one of the biggest advocates for talking to women in the service industry. Not necessarily the service industry with the professionals, but the service industry in general, right? These women are paid to be nice to you. They're paid to be nice to you. So for me, if I look at it from a perspective that I think we can all understand, they're paid to be nice to us or paid to be nice to the customer. It's probably going to be easier to talk to these types of women, right? If you're looking to build your conversational skills, women in the service industry is definitely the place to go, because the greater majority of them will not shit on you. They just won't, because it's not in their best interest. And if you're in an industry wherein the customer is typically always first, or, it comes down to the simple fact that, they're going to do what they can to satisfy or to get you what you need, because again, it's their job. At the end of the day, you can almost guarantee that high percentage chance, if they do let you down, it's probably not going to be as harsh as it would in probably other parts of the world. And if I make sense, I make sense. If I don't, Doc, you dumb. I hear a lot of noise, but I don't hear a lot of gems. You can let me know. I just had to get that off my chest. Have you ever fell in love with a stripper? If you have, by all means, let me know. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Nah, nothing to be ashamed of. Right? I think it's part of the process. I honestly feel like it's part of the growing pains of being a mature adult in the Philippines, right? It's part of the growing pains. You go to a club, you're going to find one that tickle your pickle. It's just what it is. If you go to the bar setting, if you go out there on the street and you're looking for, like I said, a quickie from point A to point B, who am I to judge, right? If you go through that process and you find somebody that you like and you continuously see this person, it's likely you're going to start rocking with her on another level. I don't know. Or him, if that's your vibe. Or him, if that's your play. But that's my time, effort, and energy, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how you feel about it, man. Let me know. Comment section below, man. It's been a good time, man. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed, bro. Doc is out. Peace.